Hey, it's Caitlin here with Fragrance University's Incense How-Tos. In this course video, we'll be teaching you how to make your own hand-dipped incense cones. For supplies, you'll need a bowl that's deep enough to submerge your cones, plastic wrap or a lid for the bowl, strainer, a cooling screen or hanger to dry your incense on, a stirring utensil, protective gloves. To make the incense cones, you'll need 33.33% or 1 ounce of your fragrance oil of choice, 66.66% or 2 ounces of dipropylene glycol, DPG for short, 30 blank incense cones. Before we begin, there's a couple of things to take note of, just like in our previous how-to videos. The incense cones you use should be unscented blanks that have the necessary combustible coating on them. The cones are sold as unscented cones or blank cones. Our recipe will scent 30 incense cones, but can be scaled up or down using the percentages we've provided based on your needs. If you want to make slightly stronger incense, you can adjust these percentages as needed. However, be sure to include at least a 1-to-1 ratio of fragrance oil to DPG. If you use more fragrance oil than DPG, the incense will burn improperly and leave an unpleasant smell. Standard incense have a 1-to-2 ratio, which is what we'll be using in this how-to. You should also keep in mind that the use of DPG in this formula is very important. Do not substitute with alcohol or other ingredients, otherwise your incense will not work properly. Finally, your container or bowl of choice should ideally be glass or HDPE plastic. These are the best materials for storing your fragrance oil mixture for repeated use, as they are resistant to any damage potentially caused by the fragrance oil. The most important aspect of your incense is the fragrance. For our cones, we went with the fragrance Sandalwood by AFI. Make sure you take your desired customer base in mind when choosing the fragrances that you'll be putting in your own incense. With that out of the way, now we can start. Fill your soaking container of choice with both the DPG and fragrance oil. Stir well until the mixture is homogeneous. Now add the cones, using your gloved hands to ensure that they're all thoroughly saturated in the mixture. Once all the cones are covered in the liquid, place a lid or plastic wrap on the container and let them soak for at least 4 hours. If you want your incense to be as strong as possible, you can soak them for up to 24 hours. While they're soaking, store them away from direct heat or sunlight. After your incense cones have soaked, remove them from the bowl with a strainer. Place your cones on a screen or drying rack above your container of liquid. If your strainer is big enough, you can use that as a drying rack. By keeping the container of liquid beneath the incense, you can catch the dripping mixture as they dry to use for future batches. Allow your incense to dry for at least 24 hours before burning them. If you live in a humid or cool climate, you may need to dry them for longer to make sure they're ready to use. Cones may take longer to dry because they are denser than sticks. Once the incense are fully dried, you can test them. To test your incense, light the tip and allow to blow out. The smoke they produce should be wispy and gray, not black. Don't let the rest of your fragrance oil and DPG mixture go to waste. You can repeat these steps with the remaining mixture as long as you have enough liquid left to saturate any cones that you're making. Make sure to test each batch by lighting one of the incense. With this recipe, you can create incense in hundreds of different fragrances of your choice. The possibilities are endless, so don't be afraid to try custom blends. If you want to add more diversity to your product line, try custom blends that your customers can't find anywhere else. Before you package and ship your beautiful hand-dipped incense, give our last 2 incense course videos a watch. We'll teach you everything you need to know about the final steps of making incense a part of your product line. Until then, my name is Caitlin, and thank you for watching Fragrance U. Bye!